Leny Yoro has gone ahead to start, and it's his debut signed this week. And he has trained with Manchester United for like 1 or 2 days. And Erik ten Hag has gone ahead to obviously choose him to obviously make him a starter into this encounter of Manchester United versus the side of Leny Yoro into the starting 11 for the club of Manchester United as we take on the side of Rangers. Shot 15, obviously into the mix. He's going to be playing alongside John Evans, and that is Leny Yoro debut for you. He starts for Manchester United as we obviously play our second game into the preseason. And guess what? It's a very big bang for the club of Manchester United. As you know, it is really very important into us. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokan David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are. Continue to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And let's see close to 100 likes marking this video. Leny Yoro starts on his debut as we take on the side known as Rangers down in the side of Scotland. Remember the first game, it ended 1-0 in favor of Rosenborg, and we come here to obviously fake or really hunt for a win that a preseason might be really calling in for right about now. So let's see, guys, smashing the like button, and let's obviously see how Erik ten Hag is going to hit to name his starting 11 for the club of Manchester United as we take on the side of Rangers. Now, Andre Onana is in goal. Andre Onana is in goal, as you see there, and he missed out on the game where Manchester United played against Rosenborg, and I don't know the reason as to why, but finally he's back into the starting 11 for the club of Manchester United. That is Andre Onana for you. Then Aaron Wan-Bissaka maintained his right back position. The most exciting Mare is into the mix, playing for the club of Manchester United. Evans is into the mix to play into that central defense. Mason Mount in here for you. Koyela is into the mix to play into the team. Then Whitley is really there. Leny Yoro is playing. Amad Diallo comes into the mix. Casemiro is into the mix, and Jadon Sancho is into the mix for the club of Manchester United. That's how everything is really panning out for the club of Manchester United. And guess what? It is really happening right about now, and that is the starting 11 for the club of Manchester United. And as it stands, the bench has the following players: me, Vitek, A.L. Geoffrey, Amas, Bernard, Fish, Jackson, Oguneye, Hannibal, Fletcher, Mather, Oyedele, and there is Callion, Ennis, and Hugill, right? And the coming in of Andre Onana has gonna hit obviously see Vitek go to the bench, and I believe he might obviously get in some minutes. Then the coming in of Leny Yoro has gone ahead to see Fish obviously gate onto the bench. Then William has found himself known into the starting 11 because of the return of Amad Diallo, and Hannibal has been benched by Collier. Have been benched by Collier into that team. Now the system is gonna be a 4-2-3-1. Andre Onana is gonna be playing in between the stitches for the club of Manchester United. Then Aaron Wan-Bissaka is gonna be playing onto the right back for the club of Manchester United. Then Murray is gonna be playing as a left back for the club of Manchester United. Then we are obviously gonna be having another player known as Johnny Evans. I know he's going to be playing onto the left side of the center back. You talk about the other player that you know very well, who goes by the names of Leny Yoro, who is going to be played as a right-sided center back, and Collier and Casemiro are going to be playing to the double pivot into this game. Then Mason Mount is going to be played as a central attacking midfielder with Amad Diallo playing as a right forward. Then the other guy who is going to be featuring in this game of football is Sancho, left forward. Remember, Marcus Rashford is really out of this game and Garnacho is away, meaning that Sancho takes on that role to play for the club of Manchester United. Remember, when he never played in the game of Rosenborg because he was not fit. Then guess who is leading the line? Ethan Whitley is leading the line. Now, in that lineup that you've gone ahead to see, Man United has a lot of players to obviously coming through and really play more than half an hour because they got in 45 minutes in the tank, and the manager will be like trying to obviously keep him on the go to obviously get in more and more and more minutes. Now, before we break down this game of football, let's obviously get into the team of Rangers and see how they've gone ahead to line up. Rangers are having Butland in goal. You know Butland very well. He was at Manchester United. We got him from loan from Crystal Palace after Dubravka went back to Newcastle in the year of 2023. When 2023 was really starting, we moved on Dubravka back to Newcastle because Newcastle called him back, and we went in for a loan for Butland, and Butland was signed to the side of Rangers, and that is the guy. Sterling, Sauter, Davis, Jefte, Baron, Diomande, Lawrence, Wright, Cortes, Dezers. That is the starting 11 for the side of Rangers into the mix, and they're having Kelly on the bench, Budnax, Ridivan, Goldosson, Matondo, Doywell, Balogun, King, McCausland, McKinnon, Lowry, and Danilo. That is the team for the side of Rangers. And I think Rangers is really a very powerful side that we need to obviously pay a lot of attention to detail too on how they play. But that is how everything is going to be lined up by the club of Manchester United, and we're here to obviously see to it that everything really goes on as to plan. So if you know, the lineup is out and Man United has gone ahead to be lined up like that. Now, after Man United getting lined up like that, we obviously get to understand that it is really very important for the club of Manchester United to obviously come up and really put in a very huge display. According to how we played last time, we are really at least a much more stronger team, according to me, according to how we featured when you're playing against a team called Rosenborg. Rosenborg looked like they had gone ahead to play some good games, and Man United hadn't gone ahead to obviously get in enough games. When you look at Rangers, they've already played one game, and they played on the 13th of July, and they lost to Ajax by 2-1, meaning that they are the same levels with the club of Manchester United, and they are really knowing the need for. Remember, we played our first game on the 15th, and for them, they played their first game on 13th July, meaning that those were how many days back? 2 days before Man United got onto the pitch. But that will not obviously give us an excuse on our performances, because we've all gone ahead obviously put in one shift in this game, and for them they lost to Ajax, and we also went ahead to lose to Rosenborg, and we here come to see how things are really going to be panning out for the club of Manchester United. Murrayfield is the stadium where you're going to be at, and this is the last game that Man United is going to be playing at all in Europe before they head to the US to play against Arsenal 1, Liverpool 2, and Real Betis into the mix. But their players I'm really going to be looking at hugely. 1, Leny Yoro is a player that I'm going to be really giving a lot of attention to detail in this game, because I know how good Leny Yoro is and how he's really going to be showing us his skills. Remember, he's going to be playing against John Evans, and Man United's manager, that is Erik ten Hag, is testing this central defense partnership for the very first time, because 8 days from today, Manchester United is going to be playing against a team known as Arsenal in the US. And guess what? We'll need this partnership to at least get some more game reading together. That is, we'll need to see them play together and see how they are really going to come out into the mix, because Arsenal is really going to be having a very strong squad. Gabriel Jesus, Odegaard, Thomas Partey, Benjamin White, Julian Timber, and very many others as they take on the side of Manchester United. But we'll also be ready to obviously face them, to obviously give them a very hard time when you're playing down in America. So that is the testing of the first central defense today, and we want to see how these two are really gonna do the needful. And Lisandro Martinez is away, and I think by the time he returns, maybe Leny Yoro would have gonna hit to form a perfect partnership with either Harry Maguire or Johnny Evans that will feature prominently into the Community Shield when play Man City. And the other player that I'm really excited to watch and look at is a player called Collier. Collier is one of those players that Erik ten Hag hugely really rates when it comes to them playing into that midfield. Remember, this is how the player known as Kobe Mainoo made his stamp into the team of Manchester United during the preseason. He played well against Arsenal, he played well against Lyon and Leeds, and then he got an injury. When you're playing against Real Madrid, he collided with Jude Bellingham and kept him out for very many months. But November last year, that's when this young man returned to full fitness, and the rest has been history until when he has gone ahead to play into the Euros for England until they lost to Spain in the final of the Euros. So this is another star that Erik ten Hag is bringing into our face and throwing into our face. He goes by the names of Koile. Koile is a very good player. He's a press-resistant player. He plays the midfield. He's going to be playing alongside Casemiro, meaning that he's really going to be ready to risk and do anything that he wants. And keep a very keen eye onto that player. He might be one of the big breakthroughs that you're going to be having at Manchester United this season. Whitley, I think he's not yet to that level. He's still really lagging a little bit, according to me. But I tell you what, for a player called Whitley, I believe he's really gonna be a player to obviously break into the team of Manchester United. That is it. And I would love to see him today, because last time when I saw him, he was really playing with the other youngsters. I want to see him and see how he's really gonna look when he's playing alongside a player called Casemiro, who is really very much experienced on really giving these young lads the best that they can. And I think today might be one of those games that might see him ushered into the team, and everyone who has been like, Scott McTominay shouldn't go, look at Koile. The guy is that good. The guy is that good, and I tell you what, he's really going to be putting in a very, 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 very huge shift into the mix. So we are here to wait and see how things really pan out, but Manchester United is here to obviously tussle it out with the club of Rangers. The other player is Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho is a player that has spent close to 329 days, since he came off the bench to play against Nottingham at Old Trafford, and it is very many months and days since he last played for the club of Manchester United, and he comes in here to obviously tussle it out with the club of Manchester United and see how things really pan out. For the club of Manchester United, a lot is really happening, and Jadon Sancho has a lot you get to really prove in here onto this game, because with Marcus Rashford away, this man has always told the manager Erik ten Hag that his favorite position is to play as a left forward, and today is the day for him to obviously show us that he's that ready to come in through and really play part into the game of Manchester United, into the mix. So that is Jadon Sancho for you. The other player to watch is none other than Amad Diallo. Remember, last season, Amad came on, played against Leeds, played against Lyon, and in his first game in the US away against Arsenal, he injured himself, and right now he has gone ahead to heal fully, played some good games towards the end of the season. He never played in the game of Rosenborg because he had a knock, and here he comes in peace to obviously give us the best of the performances that we really deserve. And today is the day for him to obviously show us that he's ready to take on the position where we believe that he should be playing as a player. That is Amad Diallo for you. For me, those are the players that I'm really going to be keeping a keen eye on in this game. I don't know which player is really going to excite you, but my list has Leny Yoro, it has Collier, it has Amad Diallo and Jordan Sancho, right? Because they are going to hit to prove to us they're really good. Ethan Whitley, I think he's good, but it will depend on how Manchester United comes in through to obviously create chances for him as a number 9, because in the game we played, the only one chance he got, dispatched it off very well, but the goalkeeper went ahead to obviously save it and it went into corner. So I would love to see Amad Diallo and Jordan Sancho create magic for this young man, because we all know that these two players who are playing as our wide forwards are not selfish. If you ask me to bring in a selfish player, I tell you, there is no way I'm going to point on Sancho. There is no way I'm going to point on Amad Diallo. All I know about them is that they are not selfish. You know, they are really good, right? And in them being good, they're going to hit to create very many huge moments for the side of Manchester United, right? So I'm here to let you know that this team is really going to be really playing a very beautiful kind of game of football. And I tell you what, the rest is going to be history for the club of Manchester United. And let me tell you that there is nothing that is going to stop the club of Manchester United from obviously having a very good and wonderful game into this encounter. Because as it stands, we've gonna hit to at least field a more energetic team. The backside is really great because we are really having some good players. Evans and Leny Yoro obviously coming in through to put in a very beautiful shift in here, and other players that are really ready to obviously take on the best of the best. So that is it through coming in through from the side of Manchester United, and we anticipate that there are players who are really going to come in through and really play very many games. You understand? They are going to be playing very many minutes, not games, minutes. For example, Bisaka is going to play more than 45. Mari, I know, is going to play more than 45. And then Amas will come in through. Evans, I don't think so. He might obviously get in a combination of Bennett and Fish into the second half. Then for Casemiro, I anticipate he will go to 70. Then the likes of Hannibal will come in through. And Collier, I think he can play close to 60 minutes. You know, Sancho, 45. Then Amad Diallo, 45. Because this is going to be their first game of the preseason. There is no way you can keep on the game to obviously play very many games. Meaning that there is this other boy that I really love a lot. You know, what is his name? You know, is it Ethan-ish? Let me check out his name here. I just love that boy. And on the left, he really looked very, very, very deadly. He was electric and he was really doing the needful. He was called Ennis. I just can't wait Ennis to play in this game, in this team for the club of Manchester United. Then, after Ennis, I would love to obviously see which other player that is going to be coming in through to Fletcher might come in through, obviously do some more in the midfield. Even Hannibal. And for Hannibal, I really feel a little bit for Hannibal because he's one of those players that I believe are really great. But if at all Collier has gone ahead, obviously overtake him, and Erik ten Hag sees Collier ahead of him, then this guy has no chance to obviously coming through to feature into the club of Manchester United's game today, and he's gonna come off the bench. And when other players really coming through, there is no reason as to why he will obviously be taking the central role in there for you. But I would love to see the style of play, by the way. When you played against Rosenborg, I never saw exactly what you're trying to play. So in this game, with more better players, I anticipate that we are going to see the style of play that Erik ten Hag wants to play alongside Rene Haig and Ruud van Nistelrooy into the preseason. So that's what we're going to hit to get from the side of Manchester United. And the preseason starts on it started a week back, and today we are playing another game. Silva Onyeit, hello brother. I need Matthias De Ligt in that defense, bro. I believe De Ligt will come to Manchester United. I really believe it. And Erik ten Hag today is going to hit to drop a very huge story. And he has confirmed that the interest of De Ligt to Manchester United is official. So, relax and float. De Ligt will be delivered to the club of Manchester United. So, Tushabe Levy, hello RD. It's a must win, and I think it will be Man United 2, Rangers 0, right? Silva Onyeit, it's going to be 3-1 in favor of Manchester United. All right. For me, it's going to be Murray, the boy. I like him so much. That left back, I really love the boy. I love the boy because of the way he really flies, and I just can't wait to see how he flies in through. And I think if you're having Murray, is there any reason for us to obviously get in a left back? Because I see the boy has potential, and I don't know where this boy has been hiding, because all of the journalists were like, Amaz, and Amaz was like making it to the bench. Had we gone ahead to loan him? I need to make some research in there for you, but the boy looks good. The boy looks good, and I love everything he puts in through for the club of Manchester United. So the boy is super good, and we just have to wait and see how obviously puts in the shift. But I tell you, he has gone ahead to obviously impress me as a fan of Manchester United. Then we are having Adepare Opeyemi. He says, Man United 3, Rangers 0. Diala Chizoba says 3-1 in favor of Manchester United. But I tell you, it's really going to be a very huge game, because for Rangers, with that stadium, you people, that stadium capacitates very many people. If at all you never knew, let me tell you its capacity. It capacitates 67,144. And I tell you, it's going to be covered with very many Rangers fans. However much United fans have gone ahead obviously buy tickets, but I tell you, you cannot come out and really compete with such a side, because it's at home, and all you have to do is to be very, 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 very careful in what we are going to be doing into that fixture, because Man United has to do a lot into this game of football and see to it that we really get in the best. And missing out on to Scott McTominay, Anthony, Rashford and Harry Maguire is going to cost us a little bit, especially in the second half. You might find out that in the first half, this side that Erik ten Hag is going to hit to flaunt might come out and win the game. But second half, when certain players have gone ahead obviously be taken off, it might result into us being porous and creating loads and loads and loads and loads of potholes into the side of Manchester United. But I'm hugely excited, because I really believe that it's high time we came in through and obviously put in a shift and gave this to where it really deserves to be. So let's wait and see how that pans out. But this game of Manchester United is really up and running. And on the Manchester TV, there are photos of Zexi, and in some 28 minutes from now, we are going to be heading to the Murray Field Stadium to see to it that everything really goes on as to plan. So Man United is taking on this team that most of you know very well, Scotland in Rangers in Scotland. Then Umar Lucky Ethan, hello Aradi. Manu is in favor of winning this game 3-1. Mr. Aradi, tell me more about Chidi Obi, that youngster from Arsenal and Manchester United. Chidi Obi is more attracted to Manchester United than any other team, and he might be one of those signings that Man United will be really making next week. Reason, I've always gone ahead to let you know that the side of Arsenal has failed to obviously put in a direct pathway from the academy to the first team. That is it. And by so doing, the side of Arsenal have gone ahead to lose the player. Fabrizio Romano has told us today that Arsenal did everything in their favor to convince this boy to stay, but the boy was like, there is nothing that you are going to tell me to do, however much I'm good, but look at how you are treating these players from the academy. And I think it acts as a lesson to the people at Arsenal managing the club, because if the youngsters don't have a direct pathway to the first team, how do you expect them to obviously come in through and really put in the required shift? That is the most important bit of it all. So we are here to wait and see how things really pan out for how things pan out for the side of Manchester United, and see what else they are going to obviously come up and really do to see to it that a lot is really protected and see these youngsters. This is the beauty of Erik ten Hag. I've always told you that. This is what Erik ten Hag gives you, and this is what he brings on the table when you obviously get him on as a manager for the club of Manchester United, because he will obviously get you youngsters and really make them feel that they are really one step away from really becoming those players that United really want to become. So that is exactly what is happening at the club of Manchester United. And this boy is really exciting. He's going to hit to score very many goals. And I think if he comes in through to the club of Manchester United, it will take him a season to break into the first team. That is it, because he's that good. I tell you what, he's that good. Very good player that is going to hit obviously coming through and really put in a very huge shift for the club of Manchester United. And everything he's going to hit to do has been approved and tested in the under-18s. 16 years of age, he's that exciting. I would be dying to see him play for the club of Manchester United, because we are really having a manager who is really good at making these players what they are supposed to be into the mix. So that is all about the boy known as he's known as what is the name? You've talked about him, Chidi Obi. Very talented, and he's looking forward to obviously getting himself into where he deserves to be. So he's really one of those players that we need to obviously get into the academy, and I know he'll obviously make his debut for Manchester United very, very soon, because he's that good. Outside left, he's really great. He can play onto the right and can also play through the center as a center forward. He's tall at the age of 16, meaning that he's really going to be a towering of a lad, and with his physicality and talent, it will make it easier for Erik ten Hag to usher him into the team of Manchester United. Then you will see Joseph, which channel to find that match. Go to the website of Manchester United. That's where you'll watch that game from, because you have to pay a little bit. But you can as well go on his goal and obviously watch that game of football, because it's going to be streaming live there. Umar Lucky Ethan Aradi. How about Yao Neves? Don't expect Yao Neves to be coming to Manchester United unless otherwise there is a very huge overturn into his move to PSG. PSG are really in advanced talks with Benfica to sign the player known as Yao Neves. Yao Neves, 70 million euros is the amount of money they're really working on to bring in the player. But Man United want to get in Manuel Ugarte into the mix. And the reason as to why Man United are like, we are not going for Yao Neves, was simple. They never wanted to go north of that amount of money. And that's the same amount of money that PSG is really calling in for. And it's like, no way. We are obviously not going to be doing that. So we are waiting to see how things really pan out for the club of Manchester United in this mode of transfer concern. But we'll find it hard for this guy to obviously come in through and really cross the side of Manchester United, because PSG have gone ahead to put in a very huge shift. Continue to obviously vote, because in the next 1 or 2 minutes, we are obviously going to be really stopping this. And we are obviously going to be bringing you the results on what your predictions are going to hit to be on Rangers. But Rangers is not an easy side. It is really going to be a very enjoying game. But I like to see these players really doing the needful into the mix. Erik ten Hag asked about Leny Yoro debut, said very exciting for him, for us. We are so pleased to sign him. He's a huge talent. We are really looking forward to working with him and building him. So Ten Hag talking about building him is something important to see to it that a lot is really happening our way, and there is no way I'm not gonna really fail to really appreciate the Man United for really getting in a player who is really ready to go, because he has been training with Lille in France, and on Tuesday this week he never really trained because they never wanted him to get injured as the deal was nearing its completion, and in so doing the player came in through. So the manager is like, this is something good for the club of Manchester United. Leny Yoro debut in there, came in fresh and fit, not injured, ready to go, and all eyes are going to be on the screen watching Leny Yoro, a player that is hugely talented, and he has going to have to put in a very beautiful shift all together into the mix. So that is Erik ten Hag talking about Leny Yoro, and building him is what Ten Hag has always going to have to do for all players of Manchester United that we've going to have to sign in through. So there is something great coming in between this, and Ten Hag is going to have to regard him as a huge talent and very exciting. And even here, with the fans of Man United, are waiting to see how Leny Yoro is really going to feature into this encounter for the club of Manchester United. Real Madrid fans, smoke on it. You wanted to obviously take him, but we went ahead to win this, and nothing could obviously stop us from obviously becoming what we are supposed to be doing in here as the club of Manchester United. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Rokan David is my name. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in on a daily. I've gone ahead to end this poll, and let me see how most of you have gone ahead to vote. 84% have gone ahead to call in for a win of Manchester United. 7% have gone ahead to call in for a win of Rangers, and 7% are going to call in for a draw. That is it. And we wait to see what result is going to be. I'm calling for a draw. That is it. I'm calling for a draw, and it's going to be, I think, a 2-2 draw between Man United and Rangers. And Ethan Luck is saying, what I can say about this coming game is that can't wait to see Matthias De Ligt, Martinez, Leny Yoro. You're talking about the coming season, right? You will see them. They will obviously come in through and put in a shift that you people will always enjoy. So I'm going to be returning when this game is really done and dusted, right? When it's done and dusted, I'm going to be coming here and letting you know exactly what the game of football is all about. We are obviously going to be streaming live, and you'll enjoy it. I'm out. See you later, my mates.